public defender. The public defender is a public servant employed by the community and responsible for giving legal aid without cost to any person who seeks it and is financially unable to employ private counsel. It is his duty to defend those accused of crime until the issue is decided in the court of law. The case you're about to see is about a young man who traveled more than 6,000 miles to find freedom, only to end up behind bars.
Operator, get me the police department, please. Hello, police. I have just killed a man. Yes. I'm Heinz Bachmann, 7325 La Trona Drive.
I was appointed to defend Eric Bachmann on a charge of murder.
I have nothing to say.
But Mr. Bachmann, if I'm to defend you, you must help me. You must tell me something.
No. I have nothing to say.
Following my only lead, I went to Eric's home. The young woman who answered my ring was no more cooperative, but I was certain she knew more than she was willing to tell. Our investigation seemed to be leading us nowhere, until one day.
Mr. Matthews?
That's right.
Jeff Thomas.
Government. Come in, Mr. Thomas. Would you sit down?
Thank you.
What can I do for you?
I understand you're handling the Bachmann case.
I've been trying to help the boy, but there's nothing much to go on. I don't think he said more than 10 words since he gave himself up.
There may be a reason for his silence.
What kind of a reason?
He doesn't know enough about the case to offer any defense. Only his sister and my office know the facts. Maybe I better start at the beginning. Eric and Wanda Bachmann are refugees.
Jeff Thomas' story told of the hectic days a few years after the war. Armed guards protect the border. On one side, freedom. On the other, harsh regimentation. There were those who fought against this injustice, and those who felt their only escape was to cross that barrier to freedom. Foolhardy thing to do? Perhaps. But Eric and Wanda were young and brave and had their lives before them.
Halt, halt, halt! Halt, halt, halt!
Crippled Eric, but it did not deter him or his sister from accomplishing their goal, America. They took residence in a Midwestern city, and after the required time, both were granted their final citizenship papers.
Mr. Bachmann?
Yes? Is there something I can do for you?
I am Hans Oberlander. I was told to look you up when I arrived.
I'm glad to meet you, sir.
I've just returned from a visit to the old country, not far from where your father lives.
My father?
Let me put these down somewhere.
Oh, I'm sorry. Any place is all right. Please sit down. You said something about my father. You saw him. He lives.
I saw him less than 3 weeks ago.
You're certain? You're sure it is Paul Bachmann, a teacher?
Well, he is not a teacher now. I think he is a janitor in a furniture factory. But I am certain it is he. When I told him I was returning to America, well, I had to pass. I had been living in New York for several years before I went back.
He's all right, is he? I mean, did they do anything to him?
He looked quite well to me.
Almost 8 years we haven't heard from him. We were sure he was dead.
He's very much alive, I assure you. And he talked of nothing else but you. And is it Wanda, your sister? His children.
We're still trying to get him out. But the State Department, they tell us they have not been able to get much satisfaction.
I know what you mean. They never give out information.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Oberländer.
No, call me Hans. I feel we are good friends already.
We are. You brought me wonderful news. Come inside of the house. We can talk much better in there, and it's much more comfortable.
I'm sorry, I'm late, Eric.
Wanda, meet my very good friend, Hans Oberländer.
I'm happy to meet you.
Hello.
Brace yourself. I have big, wonderful surprise for you.
Surprise?
Wanda, Father is living. Hans has been telling me about it all afternoon.
I knew it. I told you, Eric, but you wouldn't believe.
I saw him just a few weeks ago. He sends you his love.
One of our letters got through to him. That's why Hans could find us.
The letter was well worn. It must have been read 1,000 times.
It was the one you wrote, remember, when we rented this house 3 years ago?
Oh, it was so nice of you to come to tell us. We have waited so long to hear.
You are everything he said you were. Prettier.
Tell me about Father.
Well, questions later. We must give Hans strength enough to answer them. He must have dinner with us. With wine. Californian wine. Everything American. You know, Hans is a citizen, too. Now for almost 2 years.
Wonderful.
That was a wonderful dinner.
The best part about it was hearing all about Father.
I didn't know how late it was. I haven't even registered at a hotel yet.
Well, Hans, why don't you stay here?
Oh, I couldn't.
Well, why not? We have an extra room. It's very small, but I'm sure you'd be comfortable.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in the way.
You have brought us very good news. You are welcome in our house.
They were happy, Wanda and Hans. Hans' stay lengthened into 2-3 weeks. On Saturdays, when Wanda had a day off from the defense plant, they went on a picnic. It wasn't long before Eric realized what was happening. It was obvious Wanda was falling for the attractive visitor.